Hey, what's up? I'm here with my buddy Acre right here, and today, you can see this hat he's wearing, pretty cool. Yeah? Yang Gang 2020? Yeah?
Oh shit.
Alright, so he's really into Andrew Yang, who's a presidential candidate in the 2020 elections, and I was interested in learning a little bit more. So what can you tell me about this whole Andrew Yang situation?
Honestly, I'm pretty new to the Yang Gang, probably been in for the past month or so, and before that I was a hardcore Yang skeptic, you could call it.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because, full disclosure, I come from the left, so I have been mired in this very thick culture of, no optimism for anything that has to do with electoral politics for the past maybe 6-7 years. Okay. I'm wearing this hat and I'm in the Yang Gang, but I come to this position from the intent that is still anti-authoritarian.
Okay. Do you think that Yang is especially appealing to people who are anti-authoritarian?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I think Yang defies labels. Okay. He defies. He transcends political movements and affiliations for now because it's a very new thing. Okay. If you're coming from the right, he looks like a leftist. If you're coming from the left, he looks like a rightist.
Is he a centrist then?
So some people have called him a centrist. Okay. But if you're a centrist, he looks like an extremist.
Okay, so yes.
So what is going on? Why is this political movement so fire? Like why do I even have this hat? Like what the hell is this about?
Okay.
So what really is happening is there's a guy running for president who is really, I believe, earnestly trying to make a new system as opposed to making the system new. Okay. Or making a better system as opposed to making the system better, if that makes sense. Right? Okay. So like some people, you could call them very reformist, and they're trying to work it from the inside, right? Okay. And so with those types of people who run for office, I pay very little attention to because I'm not interested in reform.
So would you say this is maybe like a revolution type of thing?
So if I say it's a revolution, some people think that he's actually a conservatism. Do you know what I mean? It's like, sure, do I think it's a revolution? I think it is revolutionary, known as America.
What do you think are his best ideas?
Alright, so I'll give you a couple, right? One is his handling of gun violence in this country. Okay. He recognizes that it starts way before the person purchases the gun and uses the gun to inflict like apocalyptic violence. He recognizes that violence doesn't just happen in a vacuum. There are many sequences of events that lead up to somebody taking the gun to school to shoot people, taking the gun atop of a hotel to shoot people. That guy didn't just wake up one day to do that. This is many days and years in the making.
People, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Yang, he focuses on a lot of things, like obviously mental health. He focuses on stronger families. He focuses on opportunities within school and without school, like outside of it. And all of this again is brought together by his freedom dividend proposal. Like the freedom dividend is his signature platform issue, but if that was just his like the only thing he ran on, that would already be pretty incredible.
Freedom dividend, what is it? It's like his some people say like when Newt Gingrich had like a contract for America or something like that, right? Is this his own what do you call it again? Freedom dividend? Mm-hmm. So a dividend, as far as I know, is something pays me back. So what am I getting paid back? Is freedom paying me back?
Yes.
Or am I getting paid with freedom? Like what is
that's really interesting.
What is
that's great. You're breaking it down. That's fucking math right there.
Yeah.
The freedom dividend is $1,000 a month to start out with by being a U.S. citizen.
That's the dividend. UBI thing, the universal basic income?
Sure. Yeah, but it's freedom dividend.
They call it the freedom dividend.
Yeah, it's pulled much better, right?
Okay.
So that's a signature proposal, but the that proposal just by itself is already pretty incredible because he did the math.
Yeah.
And he shows us that we can totally afford it as a country. But because he has so many other great ideas and policies, the freedom dividend just makes all of them supercharged. It just makes everything, it just adds that much more gasoline to this like raging bonfire that is like a possible future for like everyone in this country. The reason why I find this campaign from Andrew Yang so incredible is because everyone can be for it and everyone can be against it. It's not partisan. Like the campaign, even though he's running as a Democrat, is very much a just totally outside the box campaign because it's solutions oriented. It's not dogma, it's not talking points, it's not showmanship oriented. Okay?
I think one of the main things that people would say is, where's all the money going to come from for this $1,000 for everybody?
Right.
Where are you going to get this money?
So again, the math is on the internet. I can totally explain it to you. I just want people to know, like everything I'm about to say, it can be found out much more clearly on his website, as well as like numerous people who are experts at UBI. Okay. They show like how Yang's plan is extremely feasible.
And
so
why is UBI better than a higher minimum wage, for example? Why is that better?
Yeah, so right now you're asking these questions that all deserve like their own very in-depth explanations in the video. So I'm gonna go through, I think I've already kind of glossed over 3, right? So let's go one by one. So number 1, who can be against UBI, right? So if you're a, let's just say from a leftist position, you're going to see UBI as a libertarian Trojan horse, right? So you're going to see UBI as a way for politicians, be it the state or technocrats, as a way to sneak in this policy to dismantle what is known as the welfare state or like social safety nets. Right, so like a lot of people can be against that from the left because from the left, the position more popularly is to expand the social safety nets. Right, so we're talking about food stamps, we're talking about child assistance, sure, Medicaid, yeah, and then from the right, UBI can be seen as I'm coming from the leftist position, but because of this campaign, I've been exposed to many people from the right who support it, so they take care of the concerns from the right, and I've been able through osmosis to learn like their positions and their talking points. But people on the right are concerned with maybe people being lazy and not working, right? Or people not finding meaning with their life. Whatever that means, some sort of like Puritan work ethic. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm just regurgitating, right? You don't have to like disagree with me. I'm just telling you what I've heard, right? Okay. So that being said, the second one was how do we fund it, right? Okay. So Andrew Yang has a pretty comprehensive plan in which a VAT tax, value-added tax, is a big part of it. And then there is a closing up a bunch of corporate tax loopholes. There's a carbon tax that will, raise a ton of money to again, everything is a jigsaw puzzle. All his policies are a jigsaw puzzle. So like this carbon tax is part of his like climate plan. So that's gonna try to incentivize the private industry to internalize the externalities of their products, for climate change, but that is also going to be a huge funding stream. And then lastly, there's a big overlap in the existing social welfare programs that will be streamlined because there's going to be millions of people who opt in to the freedom dividend as opposed to their regular social assistance programs. So some people are going to be under $1,000 and be like, yeah, I'll take $1,000. Like I'm getting $500 a month right now. I'm gonna get $500 more. I'm gonna take that. No strings attached. Okay. There are some people who get more than $1,000, but they may choose to actually opt into the freedom dividend because it's not means tested, right? So like let's just say, and I've met people like this through Twitter, with an amazing community on Twitter, people who are on disabilities, and let's just say they're getting $1,100 a month, right, from their disabilities, right? They can't work anymore. But if you're on disabilities, guess what? If you're out and about and you get out of your wheelchair and someone sees you and they snitch on you, you're gonna lose it, right? And that's sorry.
Hopefully, but then they can start. Yeah, no, I actually have a little bit of personal experience with like being in the welfare system. I was actually on welfare for a while. So
how much did you get a month?
Well, to tell you the truth, they changed it actually under Clinton. So the thing is that before you would get like, I forgot exactly how much it was, but with food stamps it's like, you know, you get that too. So the thing is that the problem is that after you're on welfare for like maybe you get it for like a couple weeks maybe. I don't remember exactly, maybe a couple weeks, a month or something, and then you get switched over to something called workfare.
Okay.
And then when you're on workfare, you're making less than minimum wage.
Sure.
Like maybe like $4 or $5 an hour for doing stuff.
Okay.
So you actually don't want to do that. Why would you want to work for less than minimum wage when you could just go and get a minimum wage job? So to get out of it, right, some people, what they'll do is they'll claim like, you know, some type of psychological BS, or so that way they don't have to do the workfare, they can still get the money.
Sure.
That's some abuse, and actually there's no one innocent in this game. It's not just the people, but you know, doctors really abuse the crap out of this. You get what I mean? They will see the patient, they will give them the prescription medications. They just, you know, run it like a factory mill.
So let me tell you right now, everything you just described to me can go away with UBI.
So, but here's another thing, like UBI. Let's suppose
Freedom
I'm a pregnant mother. You know?
Okay, sure.
So do I get more UBI than someone who's no?
No.
So what about the kids? They get UBI too?
No. You have to be
No.
18.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the kids are just I just gotta deal with it on my own.
Yeah.
So they will probably resist that idea because they want.
If they resist it, they don't lose anything. They don't lose anything under the. There's no cutting of existing social welfare programs.
Oh wow.
There's no
so
cutting.
A bonus, yeah. Okay.
No. It's an opt-in system. So you choose either or. If you're on programs,
who's not gonna take $1,000 a month? I'm taking it.
Well, if you take $1,000 a month,
yeah,
and you're already getting $1,000 in social welfare,
yeah,
like
you
take that, you choose.
Yeah.
You don't. It does not stack.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah, there's things that do stack, but they're not the welfare programs. Would think like Social Security stacks.
Okay.
Right. Unemployment insurance stacks.
Okay.
But these programs that we traditionally think of as like government assistance, they don't stack.
Okay.
Right. So
That
these
makes
people
sense.
on these programs can choose.
Okay,
But they do not. They are not forced to take the UBI, the Freedom Dividend.
They're all taking UBI. That's my.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe
Maybe they're getting way
Getting
more
more
insistent.
money
Yeah. They're getting $3,000 a month. Yeah,
Getting,
they're
like,
definitely
child
not going to
support
choose
and
it.
stuff like that,
Sure.
yeah.
And I think that's fair, right?
Okay.
From a policy standpoint, from a feasibility standpoint, from a practical standpoint, I think it's extremely fair, right? So as someone who has experienced the system firsthand, and I have as well, we both know that there's a ton of enforcement that goes on within this bureaucracy. There's like people having to pull your file out. You gotta wait in line. Blah blah blah. You gotta meet your caseworker. You gotta how much productivity is wasted there. Just people having a government job trying to I guess help people. But at the end of the day, how many people does it actually help? Other than there's this thing called the welfare cliff, right? So like up to a certain point you get helped, but if you pass a certain point you drop off and they do not help you anymore. So the incentives are perverse and people are incentivized to stay on these programs. So right now I am sounding basically like a right-wing Republican head telling you this thing, but as someone who has experienced it, and you have as well, let's be real, we have to talk about it like this. We have to, coming from a leftist position, from an anti-authoritarian position, from an anti-state position, I see that as a way for the state to actually trap people to become dependent upon the state, right? So like that's not a socialist position.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, that could be seen as a libertarian position, but I would also argue that from an anarchist position.
Okay.
Right. So I'm very interested in ways for us to overcome that, and I think freedom dividend is extremely effective as a policy to address exactly this. No means testing. You get it as a citizen. It is your birthright as an American citizen when you turn 18, right?
Okay.
So then, oh my god, it's so crazy. So like, and get this, people who, if you're in the prison,
Okay.
you do not get freedom dividend. But once you get out, you get it. I think that incentivizes people to stay out of jail, right? What is, again, I'm just telling you about the one freedom dividend, right? Yang has these policies that have to do with incarceration and how to rehabilitate people. We should abolishing private prisons because the incentives are totally fucked up.
I completely agree with
Yeah.
that.
He wants
And the
to,
metrics are just horrible. I don't understand.
and if you want to talk about metrics, Yang wants to actually supplement GDP as a measurement of progress for our nation. No, GDP is just one data point. There's so many others. Childhood mortality. Prison population. Climate and environment. And during the State of the Union every year, he's going to have literally a PowerPoint in the fucking Senate. Like, why are we still having speeches and like it's just a political theater? You know, he's modernizing the system.
When you say like the number of cops shooting people went down, right? I mean, like, yeah, it sounds like when I had that look on my face, like, yeah, it's a good thing if it goes down. But you can't believe the numbers because they're always making stuff up, like in the city. Right?
So
like
this
is
so again. Let me finish, right? So I love your brain, right? Yeah. It's going to the most pessimistic thing. This is fine, right?
Yeah.
So, Yang has made it a policy to put cameras on every cop.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
They have to keep it on. You ever see them trying to crook it off?
So on his policy page it says if it's off, it's a admission of violation.
Yeah, violation.
Yeah, if it's off, it is the burden proof on the officer.
Yeah.
Like, why did it go off?
Yeah, that's violation.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's on there. Yeah. It's on there. I'm not making shit up. It's on there.
Yeah, that's cool.
How fucking crazy do you think about this? All the way through, right? Police for every, cameras for every cop. In the U.S., not just in New York City, not in the big city. Like every fucking cop gets a camera, right? So yeah, then you can talk about these statistics as like much more reliable. Another thing that he wants. So we were talking about guns, right?
Okay.
Gun violence. Not only is he trying to address the steps that lead up to people killing people, from cradle to grave, he also has a great idea. I thought for guns, right? One is, I think is a cool idea, is perpetual buyback. Government perpetual buyback of guns. You can ban guns today, there's still 300 million guns out there. So he'll have a perpetual buyback of guns. Like, if you can always take your shitty guns in, sell it at market value, or you take your new ones, whatever. But in addition to that, he would support a government-funded program for personalization of guns. What does that mean? There's technology now. It's not based on fingerprint, it's based on the way that you grip your gun. It makes your gun so that it's only able to be fired by you, right? So you replace the handle. Okay. It's a technological solution.
Interesting. Okay.
It's fucking crazy. So you're all of a sudden, parents who worry that their kids are going to shoot their other kid, don't have to worry about that anymore. And get this. Police cannot say he was reaching for my gun.
Yeah. Because the gun won't work. They should do that for cops. They should give cops if this technology exists. They're still using CB radios, man. It's ridiculous. They're using like 19 hits.
But just think about this. Yeah. Think about the puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
We're talking about a fucking puzzle piece. Like the puzzle pieces coming together. It's a fucking great idea.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's fucking talking about it. I can't believe someone hasn't assassinated this motherfucker yet. Alright? So he's talking about all of these. These are just little sprinkles I'm giving you, alright? Another one, he's gonna abolish the penny.
Okay.
When I heard that, I was like, holy shit, the dude's got a sense of humor, but he's right. Pennies cost more than they're worth. Alright, so we don't even have to talk about that. The fact that he's talking about it, as a throwaway proposal, I probably would have voted for him just on that, right? Another thing that he is going to do is he's going to have the government fill out your taxes for you.
Okay.
So when you get your tax forms, it's already filled out. You just check it and be like, "Yep, that looks right. Sign. You got it. We don't have to fill it out anymore. So why do we fill out our taxes? They already have all our information. Why do we fill it out? You know why? It's because fucking H&R Block lobbied the government like 10 years ago to literally stop them from doing exactly that. Because Europe does it, China does it, pretty much Australia does it, pretty much every fucking developed nation on this planet does this, except for us. Why? Because we have TurboTax. Right? We have all these other tax. He's like, nope, sorry. As president, I'm going to do that. Tax day is going to be a national holiday, and we're not going to call it tax day.
That'd be great, yeah.
It's going to be called Revenue Day.
Okay.
Because why? Tax day, you think, whack. Tax is actually Revenue Day for this fucking country. Why are we not celebrating it? And you get to donate 1% of your taxes to whatever government department of your choice. National Endowment for the Arts, or the National Park Service, or maybe the military, maybe the police. I don't fucking know. It's your choice.
I think people want more choice. Hell yeah.
As people, I want people to have more power. I want people.
If the department's screwing up, right? Like you hear, like all these like this particular department, like Department of Defense, like spraying people down with like these white phosphorus, killing people. Man, I'll give my 1% to someone else, and that can have a real effect on their food.
Absolutely. 1% to someone else.
The Food and Health Administration says that we don't have the right to know if our food is GMO. Man, I mean, look, I'm not saying that like I wouldn't eat GMO food, right? But I'm just saying like I have the right to know if it is or not.
Absolutely,
Come on.
absolutely.
Can you just label it, please?
Honesty,
please.
Yeah. So on the tax forms as well that you get, there will be a national scorecard. Like this year, we built this many highways, we paved this much road. Again, we planted this many trees. And next year, like, what are we gonna do with our government next year?
Okay.
This is what your taxes are actually gonna go into.
So, what do you think are Yang's chances of winning?
I think very high.
Okay.
Very high because
I think like he's polling higher than Obama did when he was at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And definitely higher than Bernie, because Bernie was like way like in the bottom, and somehow like he just magically came up. But
I mean, like we're talking about 2016.
Yeah.
2016, that field was not as crowded as we are now, and as people start peeling off. Again, I'm not very interested in people who are following it right now. Like people who are following it right now have basically already made up their minds, right? And that's why you're following it. You're a junkie, right? There's a huge low-hanging fruit, untapped like reservoir of voters out there that are too busy working,
I feel
too busy.
Kind of me. Like,
Can I just say one more?
Go ahead. Yeah.
One more thing that Yang's gonna do.
Okay.
Yang has this idea for democracy dollars. So for during every election, every American gets $100, but you can only use it as a political donation, right?
Okay.
If you use it or you lose it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So you use that democracy dollar to donate to the candidate that you like.
Yeah.
You know, that washes out lobbyist money, like 4 to 6 to 1, like either 4 or was it 6 to 1. Right, depends on like the hot spots, right?
Yeah.
Fucking someone elect this man already. That's a fucking brilliant idea. Conservatives like it, liberals like it, everybody likes it. Everyone cares about corporate money in politics.
Yeah. Well, if they could get like regular money, that would be nice.
Well, they are getting regular money, but the democracy dollar is just on top of that. You don't have to donate your UBI to a candidate. Like the government.
That might make honestly the politicians more responsive to the people, which is really
if you Gang always does this on their stump speech, right? Like if you had a 10,000 people supporting you as a candidate, if Yang wins, when Yang wins, 10,000 people supporting you, how much money is that? That's $1 million. So when NRA comes to you with a check of 80,000, which is like usually their donation amount. What's 80,000?
Okay, so right now I think Yang's polling around 2-3%, something like that.
Probably 5.
5%.
Let's be real. Like,
I don't know.
Officially.
You've been following.
Yeah.
I don't really.
I think it's woefully underestimated.
Yeah.
Woefully, because how do they get these numbers, right? Have they ever called you?
No, I don't.
Why not? Do you know? Do you know why they've never called you?
Because they, I don't exist.
I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you right now why.
Why?
Because you have no landline.
Yeah.
Yeah. They only pull people with landlines.
Oh really?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because the shit is from the 70s.
That's so dumb, man. Why do these people like have all this control and like they mean something when they're so backwards and behind? It's really ridiculous.
So do you see why I'm kind of excited for Yang?
Because he's like the future, like a technologist.
So he's actually not a technologist, right? It's like a lot of people, pigeonhole him into like the Silicon Valley tech bro guy. But Yang is not. He's worked in both.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he works in. Yeah, he worked as he had like an education startup and stuff. Yeah,
but that was.
But it's data driven, and he has always.
That's New York.
Yeah, yeah, sure. But he had also startups in the Bay as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and he knows people from there. He has friends who are in technology, but he himself is not a tech entrepreneur. He's a social entrepreneur. That's the difference. His nonprofit that he ran before he ran for president was about entrepreneurship, small business, right?
Okay.
Oh my god, dude, he's the only one talking about insurance, like the government Medicare for all, and how it's going to be so helpful to the small business owner. It's like he's the only one thinking about that, Like, and people who see him talk about that, who around the country, because America is a nation of entrepreneurs, they're like, thank you, this guy is talking some fucking sense, right?
Okay.
Yeah, sure, everyone needs healthcare, amen. Yo, but can somebody just please get this healthcare shit out of my hair? Like, government, please take
like
that.
200, like 300 employee per month. It's ridiculous.
So please help me with that shit, yeah?
This is
yeah,
absurd.
Sometimes it's more.
Yeah.
So I can focus on what I need to do to bring value to society as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, there's so much sucking going on. Education, healthcare, sucking the money out.
So Yang is not tech, right? He's not a tech guy like, fucking robots and shit, but he's a data guy. He's a data guy. You don't have to be a tech guy to be a data guy, right? So he's data driven.
Well, I mean, like I feel like he's making innovative solutions.
Absolutely.
And I mean, he's like a guy who's on the computer or phone all day. I mean, like he's like I hear the things that
so let's just
saying. Yeah, they're cool solutions. I like this.
So yeah, so this guy. I mean, I hesitate like this. The reason why I push back on like the tech, how should I say, aesthetic for Yang, is because when people think of tech, they think of Mark Zuckerberg, they think of Facebook, they think of Google, they think of Jeff Bezos,
Okay.
I mean, not even Jeff Bezos is just a rich guy. Maybe you think of Elon Musk, right? And Andrew Yang, sure, he's our generation. He's like, he's 44 years old, right? He's like a little older than you, right?
Okay.
But so he understands like how to use an iPhone. He understands how the internet works.
Okay.
But he's not the guy, writing the algorithms for Facebook, right? He's not that guy. He's the guy who is more relatable to people like us, like people inheritors of the future, and looking around and being like, damn, there's some like serious fucked up problems right now, and let's just cut to the chase. Let's be real. Right? Is it rich people that are fucking us over? Or is it the government that is fucking us over? Is it the greed of society? Is it racist? Okay? It's all of it and it's none of it. Let's get past the partisanship. Let's get past the labels. Let's get past the name calling.
Okay.
And let's talk about actual solutions. And bro, as a leftist, it's extremely refreshing, and I can tell you right now, people from the right are also being like, hallelujah, this guy is what we were waiting for. Because Trump, Yang says this all the time, Trump was asking the right questions, right?
Okay.
He was like, make America great again, right? MAGA. And Hillary Clinton was like, dude, America's already great.
Okay.
Wrong answer, right? Hillary was not... Great for her class. Not for us. Not for people in the middle of the country. Not for people on the coast who are homeless. What the fuck was she talking about? So Trump was asking the right questions. Why? What happened to us? What happened?
Yeah.
Right? We used to be able to afford college.
Yeah.
Right? Fuck. Turn around. Let's build a wall. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Demonize immigrants.
Yeah.
You know? Let's start a fucking trade war. Why don't we start a trade war?
Yeah.
Let's fucking almost go to a fucking nuclear war with North Korea, an actual war.
Well, he actually went there and had talks later on.
With Dr. Dennis Rodman, you know, amen, Dennis Rodman, right? But
Yeah,
the fact is, Americans are not stupid. Like, if one thing has taught me in my travels, and I've been so fortunate.
We're always treated like we're stupid. It's so sad.
We're not fucking stupid.
Yeah.
We want something new.
Yeah.
But we also want shit that makes sense.
Yeah.
Last time came around, there were two people. People chose the shit that made a little more sense. Even if it was wrong, but it still made sense. This time, bro, this shit actually makes sense. This makes sense. And again, he's way miles and miles ahead of every other candidate. And people are waking up to that shit. And like, that's why the internet is so down with Andrew Yang.
Okay.
Because people on the internet have the best information comparatively to the mainstream media. Right? So like, yeah, MSM hasn't really woken up to him yet, but you cannot deny the grassroots energy that Andrew Yang brings. Because like, it's people seeing him being infected by his message and finding each other.
You know, I'm actually interested because I'm surprised at how well he is actually doing. First of all, he's an Asian man. I never thought Asian guys would like make it that far, number one. Number two, like when you take a look at like maybe like Tulsi Gabbard, right? Like she was Democratic National Committee chairman, whatever, like, 4 years ago. She made the headlines multiple times, and she's polling lower than Andrew Yang.
I mean, she's gone. Yeah, she's not making it in the debates. Sadly.
She might make it, yeah?
We'll see.
I put in like an extra $10 in there just to try to help
You
out.
Donated there?
I did.
Andrew needs that shit, bro.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll donate to Andrew too, you know what I mean? If he says the right things and it sounds interesting. You know what I mean? But I really like her integrity, and but her name recognition should have been high. But this Andrew Yang guy seems to have caught on, and it's interesting. But also, I also wonder, right? We all get caught in these funnels. So, how many people out there actually know? But just like Obama, a lot of people know about Obama, and he just went right past Hillary Clinton. So that was amazing. So maybe this could really happen. That's pretty cool. So it's interesting to learn about new things, and thanks for sharing with me. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening, man. I think it's easy to be Yang Gang because of the amazing people that are in it. Like, people who gravitate towards Yang Gang. Yeah, you might have like the oddball, maybe the misogynist or not so pleasant people here or there. But like, for the most part, everyone I've met through Yang Gang have been interested in going forward. You know what I mean? Like, moving fucking forward and like making the world actually a better place. And it's like incredible because like, you realize once you shed the labels, people can actually talk to each other and agree on shit, like consensus. I'm just like, damn, this is fucking American democracy, like, that I never thought could happen. You know, like,
okay,
it's incredible. Like, I've talked to so many past Trump voters who help me see, like,
also
help me
Obama, right? Like, how did a lot of people be like, how did my life change under Obama? Didn't change that much. How
Didn't
much
change shit.
under Trump? Didn't change that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always winners or losers, but
Well, I mean,
trust me, if the freaking freedom, when the freedom dividend passes, your life is gonna change. Like it's just not. You cannot be like, okay, again, anything's possible, right?
Okay.
But think about if you got an extra $1,000 every month, your life is gonna change. Like, everyone's life is gonna change. The less you had, the more it's gonna change.
Okay.
The more you had, the less it's gonna change.
All right.
It's not going to change at all for Jeff Bezos. Like, let's be real. He's going to earn less money, but he's already, the richest person of all time. So it's not going to change much for him, which is fine. I don't want to penalize Jeff. I want to help like 200 million people, like right off the bat. Day one, 200 million people, 40 million people out of poverty. Eliminate quote unquote poverty. You might eliminate homelessness. Like day one.
Okay.
Do it.
How can people find out more about this whole Yang situation, about what his policies are?
Yang 2020. Yang2020.com.
Okay.
Every policy is on there. He just dropped his climate policy today.
Okay.
I read it as an engineer, as somebody who's into ecology, into permaculture, into growing food.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
Yeah, cool.
It's so forward thinking. It's so forward thinking and practical and so needed. That like
That's just because we're definitely into that over here. Check out our other channel, Biosphere X, by the way. And actually, we could probably do another video on just analyzing that. That's very
absolutely,
because I know we're all into this growing stuff. It's pretty nuts over here. Yeah,
absolutely.
Check out our other videos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So, I think that also, maybe local. How can people just by going to Angry Yang 2020?
So on Twitter, it's very active on Twitter.
Okay.
Like you'll meet people from all over the country.
No, but like
if you just hashtag Yang Gang.
Hashtag Yang
Yeah.
Gang. Okay.
Hashtag Yang
And
Gang.
people get at you and tell you how to get involved with the local thing.
So he has a Slack. He
So
has
probably
a
better if you go
Discord.
to the official one, yeah. What's the official?
There's
one?
no official one.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
you go to the Slack. I mean, there's official channels like Slack.
Because I remember
Twitter.
during the Bernie era, there was like so many different groups. There was like 5, 6, and they're always fighting each other. You know what I mean? So which one's
Sure.
the real one? Is there anyone?
There's no
kind of
real
people-
one. Like
people?
so Andrew Yang has this humanity first hashtag, humanity
Okay.
first policy, and it's so grassroots because again he's the underdog. He doesn't have the political machine that's going to enable him to micromanage all the groups, right?
Okay.
People are really taking it upon themselves.
He's
to,
relying on people to individually do it themselves.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's relying on people to internalize the humanity first message and act accordingly.
Okay.
So like people like on Twitter, you get into like real nasty debates and shit like that.
Okay.
But there's always people in the Yang Gang who are like, yo guys, we're better than this. We're representing humanity first, and they're much more patient as opposed to other candidates. Like I'm not gonna name names, but they know who they are, right? It's just not the same. It's just not the same, right? So like if you want to get involved, there's Slack, there's Discord, they got a Twitch, they got they're very internet savvy, reaching the youth, but I think I got involved mainly through Twitter. Twitter
Okay.
was the best.
Twitter. Well, okay. You said there's a Slack, there's a Discord. Anything else?
There's a Twitch.
Oh, Twitch. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And they have other stuff probably. They have Basecamp.
Andrew
They have
Yang
Reddit.
What's
The
Basecamp?
Andrew Yang
I don't
Reddit
know
is
about-
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Subreddit?
It's one of the most amazing subreddits.
What's the address /
I think it's like Andrew Yang 20. It's the fastest growing like Reddit group of all time or some shit, and it's just pleasant. Like
Okay.
it's again it embodies the humanity first aspect. So like
the
moderators are-
Yet?
not yet, no.
Okay.
But the thing is, the moderators are there. They're doing like God's work because they're reading everything, they're screening everything, they're making sure it aligns with the humanity first message.
Okay, that's cool. That's yeah.
And then you have Basecamp, which is the Facebook groups. There's Facebook. Basecamp is Facebook shit. I've never used it, but apparently it's big.
Okay.
Yeah. So people organize through that. But yeah, I mean I'm part of a couple Yang gangs along the East Coast, like the one in Concord, New Hampshire, the one in the Hudson Valley, and the one in New York City.
Okay.
So I'm involved like that, but they're all over and they're popping up. It's a grassroots thing, This is people getting affected by the message and organizing themselves. How much more fucking anarchist is that? You feel me? How much more fucking anarchist can you get? Right? But I get it if people want to be like, how much more
I'm sure people have
conservative?
something to say about that in the comments section. Put your comments below.
Absolutely. Cheers. Yeah.
Alright. Thanks for
Yang
checking out the
gang.
channel.
Yang
Like,
gang.
subscribe, you know the whole deal.
Amen, brother.
Alright, peace.
Peace.
Alright.